prisión, Wilson Manyoma, Borbona.
I wanted to let it breathe, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I see you, baby. I see you.
Masters and None, episode 67. Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Masters and None, episode 67.
Thank you guys for joining. For those that are going to join, for those that are going to watch us a little bit later on, we appreciate everybody.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, just while we're in the beginning of this, if you don't have time to make the YouTube live or you don't have YouTube Premium and you can't listen to us in the background, you can listen to us on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Music, Google Music, or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on all your podcast listening platforms.
As well as, you just said Stitcher, right?
Yeah, Stitcher's a new one.
Good. Yeah, we're also on Stitcher now, too. We're expanding.
Yeah, I'm 80% sure none of our episodes have made it there because I think it does a bulk migration. But they will. There's an account there for Masters and None, and the episodes will be there shortly, hopefully. Or maybe even right now. Who knows? Go check it out. Give us a follow on there.
That's right. And like this video, please. But yeah, so welcome to the show. We got a couple crazy things. First, we got to start this with a real moment here for Bob Saget.
Yeah, facts.
Like, I know we joke around a lot and stuff like that on here, but that man is that guy is important. Yeah. You know, that man was important in a whole lot of ways, not just stand up and not just comics and that way, but God, if you don't watch Full House growing up.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Bob Saget grew up with me because just when like I'm getting to the point where, or maybe like, several years after I'm not watching Full House anymore, then I find the raunchy side of him.
Yeah.
And I find out that I felt like he was growing up with me. I feel like I was getting older and I'm like discovering more mature content from him. And it was like, it's like we grew up together. I was like, oh, I didn't know you were a perv this whole time. And I mean that in like a positive way. I don't mean like he was hitting on young girls.
No, of course. He was, guy's a legend, man.
Yeah.
He really is a legend, man. He's, his humor, for him to walk those two lines, that's why I say like it is possible to be, professional, like if you want to say that. In a field, but then have an actual life, a personal life that's different.
What up, Oscar? Shout out to Lil Coconut LLC in the building.
Yeah, man, and just having another side of who you are. Like this is, there's a difference between how somebody behaves, at one point during the day and how they are at work. Like he was at Full House.
Yeah, and it's like, damn, his motherfucker was a pretty good actor because I thought he was wholesome as fuck.
Yeah, man. I mean. That's the skill set, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the ideal because that was like the thing back in the day. That was the goal. Ultimately, was that comics, their whole goal in Hollywood and the way they made a lot of money was getting a TV show. So that was like the ultimate goal. So he was like one of the godfathers, that really, really got onto a sitcom and really just blew up beyond belief. And like how many seasons? I don't know how many seasons. There was at least probably 10 seasons or something. 10 seasons, something like that. So that's an illustrious career as a comic on a sitcom. On
a staple show. Not just a show that kind of played in the background and some people watched, some people didn't. Everybody watched
Everybody watched Full House. My sister and I are 4 years apart, and we both watched it and loved it.
No worries, Twiz. We appreciate you stopping by. It was like, it was like one of those shows you sat down and you watched with like your siblings or your family, and like everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was genuinely, everybody had their character they liked.
Yeah.
Like Joey. Everybody wanted to be Uncle Joey. I was like, damn, Uncle Joey's mad cool, but that fool ain't got no money.
And no biddies either. He had that puppet, and I knew that puppet was the Antsy Poon. He wasn't going to get nothing with that puppet. You pull that puppet out, you could pretty much guarantee.
You could clear a room.
Yeah.
And, you pull that goddamn thing out, listen, man.
Clear a funeral home. You
right?
kidding me?
Oh, my God. But it was good, man. Everybody wanted all. You know who did have the biddies?
Oh, man. Uncle Jesse?
Uncle Jesse had all the biddies.
Yeah, man. And he had the slamming chick, too. What was her name?
Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky.
She's the one going through it right now with bribing her kids way into that Ivy League school.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I don't even give a fuck.
They all do it.
Yeah. And listen, if I had a bunch of money, even if they asked me for money right now, I don't even got a bunch of money. If they were like, give me, a couple $1,000 and we could guarantee something like that, what? I'm in it to win it.
It's so funny how like that works in every other industry. But they're like, wait. Goddamn. Can that happen? Can that happen in education? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, no, it can't happen in education. It shouldn't happen anywhere else, but they seem to tolerate it.
I wonder how she got caught. Somebody ratted her out.
There was a few people that got caught.
That's like,
It was like I think she had to pay some amount of money.
you're
or
right.
something.
I think there was several people that got caught. She was just the only famous one. Or she
Nah,
was
there
one
was
of-
a couple
she was-
famous
Excuse me,
ones.
she was one of the famous ones.
Yeah.
That's like me and you at the supermarket. You're in front of me on the line, and you notice that the cashier doesn't scan one of my, water bottles,
Yeah.
and then you speak up.
Yeah. That's lame.
It's
That's
like,
so lame.
Shut up.
Shut up, bro.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing to do with this.
Nah, me and this cashier worked this out previously. Mind your business.
How dare you? But just to go full circle, R.I.P. Bob Saget.
Yeah, R.I.P. for real, man. And so far I think they said no foul play. But
He's
I'm
found in
hoping that that's the case. That this was something natural, and hopefully it was smooth, painless. And
I'm not
he
gonna lie.
deserved
When
it.
I first heard it, I thought, my mind went. You know what? That's a lie. My mind didn't even go astray. Somebody else said something, and I was like, and I just kind of agreed with it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but at this point, we've pretty much been conditioned to where a celebrity, or especially a celebrity that's beloved, as tragic as that is, each time that they go, in some untimely way and unexpectedly, we always find out it's something terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm glad so far that it wasn't anything like that related to anything other than natural causes. So that's, it's a plus. If there's a plus in this situation, it's a plus in that direction,
What does that even mean? I get what it means, natural causes, right? But he's significantly younger than
Yeah.
the woman who we were just talking about last week, Betty White.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like they both went to natural causes,
Yeah.
but
Natural causes is really just anything that's not, you know.
is a heart attack a natural cause?
Yeah. A heart attack is a natural cause, but typically they can identify if that's what it was.
Yeah.
So
no.
they'll usually they'll specify that, but that's a natural cause. It's, it's just anything that's not like homicide or overdose or drug related or suicide, something like that.
Yeah.
But.
Speaking of homicides and suicides, can we get into the plane story that you tell me about when you got in today? I haven't heard this story. You actually told me about it, and then we just threw it on the list real quick for today.
Yeah. So this is there was a story that we shift from like that tragedy of Bob Saget to something heroic, so I like this change. I like you calling on this. So.
Yeah, this could have been tragic. Started off like it's going to be tragic. Let's hear it.
So apparently there was an airplane that for whatever reason crash landed in L.A. But not only did it crash landed on the train tracks.
What are the odds?
So it crash lands on the train tracks, and then these heroic police officers were able to extract the pilot. He did suffer some injuries, but they were able to extract the pilot, and just before the train hits the airplane.
Seconds before.
So
the train
like
hits the
seconds
airplane.
before, so we're going to show you guys a little bit of the body cam footage of that actual, when they extricated that, the pilot. So we'll take a look real quick because this is like unbelievable. So this is body cam footage of Los Angeles PD extricating this pilot from this airplane when he actually crashed on the tracks. And now here comes boom, train hits the airplane. Get out of here. You've got to be kidding me. I got to watch this again. Watch it again.
Crazy?
I'm watching it again. So, this is crazy. First of all, he's injured, so bless him. They took him to a hospital, and apparently he did suffer some injuries, but he's stable. But that is remarkable. All right, one more time, guys. I gotta
count to how many
because it's a
seconds.
loop. It's between here. Yeah,
Between
you know
when they
what?
pull him
I'll
out
tell
of
you
the
what I'm
car?
gonna do. I'm not gonna. I'm
you gonna do a
going to.
stopwatch?
I'm gonna do a stopwatch, and I want to see. I'm gonna do a stopwatch. Anybody else do a count? See if you agree with me or not.
Yeah,
Anybody
put
in
your
the
guess
chat? Put it in the chat. So here, ready? They get them out. There it is. Damn it, that wasn't really accurate, but
It was about 4.5 seconds.
yeah, about 4.5 seconds. Wow,
Dude, they pulled him out of that plane 4.5 seconds before
Yeah,
that
and
train came. And they weren't moving.
No.
These guys are in there hustling to get good on them.
And miraculously, nobody was killed in this incident. But man, that is like unbelievable to me. When I saw the the video first, I was like, no, I didn't even know what I was looking at, because the first video I actually saw was from a bystander. It was a person that was walking by, and they had they were videotaping it, but I couldn't even see what was happening. And then a train goes by, and everyone's like, oh, and I was like, what? I didn't see what happened. So I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, there's a damn airplane on the train tracks. And then
Cessna on there.
Man, and then that train just cleaned that thing, just like whacked it, and luckily nobody got killed. You know, that's a miracle. That's real. That's not getting enough media attention. Like, the fact that I came here and told you about that and you didn't know about it yet, that's upsetting to me, because if they shot an innocent person in the street, it would have been front page news.
Oh, dude, I couldn't even.
You know,
when I went to go find it, this article isn't trending anywhere.
Share the positivity. Don't share the corrupt cops all the time. Don't share the tragedies. Share the heroic stuff.
You know what is trending? Robert Durst dies. Bob Saget dies. The things like this, they don't fucking trend. They kind of just sit in this middle ground. Because even after you told me it, so he tells me about the plane, and I was like, I gotta fucking see this thing. We gotta put it in. We gotta put it in the podcast today. He told me there's a video about it, so I'm looking for it. I had to search for it. It wasn't trending anywhere. It's not in the top of anything.
Yeah. And mind you, it didn't, even when you search for it, we had to scroll down.
Yeah.
Like almost to the bottom of the page.
And when did this happen?
As far
Recently?
as I know, I've only seen coverage today. I think it must have happened between yesterday and today, I would imagine. You know, but so that's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to give you guys a little bit of positivity too. You know, it's not just all the negativity that we see every day. We got to share a little love too, man. But yes, I was super impressed.
Yeah,
I was super impressed. Yeah. See, I was super impressed by that. But yeah. So when you talking about who's trending, Rob Durst.
Yeah, we could talk about this.
Robert Durst is the guy that we covered some episodes back.
Many episodes back. Only if you're an OG viewer, you've
you know about
Robert Durst.
But what it is allegedly back years ago, like the 80s and stuff, there were a couple of people that he was actually accused of killing. But his family was very influential. They had a lot of a big influential family, and for whatever reason, Lord only knows. They're very influential, but for some reason he was never convicted of these things, and it were it was kind of chalked up to like mental illness or he didn't have anything to do with it, but really it's almost like a lot of people from the stories I've read, and there was some documentary done about this too. It seems like nobody really cared too much. That it was almost like everybody turned a blind eye to it.
And this crime didn't happen 5 years ago. This happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
He killed somebody in 1982.
Yeah, see, it was a long time ago, and he was doing like different things, like, I think to get the insanity kind of a perspective, he was like cross-dressing, like doing different things.
Was he?
Yeah, there were like weird things that he was like involved in when it really didn't seem, it didn't seem genuine and stuff.
That shit might have worked in 88. Yeah. That shit ain't gonna work today. You cross-dress. Mm-hmm. You're just gonna get more hugs.
Yeah. No, on the contrary. I think it would be received poorly. They'd be like, "You're not really doing this."
Oh, you think they call him out on it?
Yeah, they'd be like, "You're playing a game here."
Yeah, show me a thong bought in '85.
Yeah, exactly. Like show me some materials that have since been banned.
Yeah,
to be in a thong that were not like booty safe.
Yeah,
But yeah, so anyway, so now he finally ends up getting convicted of one of these crimes.
Yeah.
And, they throw the book at him, they sentence him, and now today he dies. So it's like, people get wrongfully convicted and wrongfully incarcerated, and they spend decades in prison for something they didn't do. This guy lives his whole life, gets away with all this stuff, and then finally gets convicted, finally gets sentenced, and then passes away shortly after.
Yep, never does a day in jail.
Never, but he's going to do eternity in damnation, let's say.
Yeah. There's a special place in hell for him.
Yeah, there's a special place for people like that, man.
You ever read Dante's Inferno?
No, I don't. I'm not an avid novel reader.
Let's make something clear. This was an assignment, and that's why I read it.
I never finished an entire reading assignment in my life.
It's a small book about this dude's travels through hell, and it goes and they talk about like every phase in hell.
Okay.
And like where the pedophiles are, and where the
Oh, there's like a
masturbators
spectrum
are.
of hell.
There's like 7 levels, I think.
7 levels of hell. Damn, which is the
Yeah.
hottest? The deepest?
The deepest, I think, is just like, it's all right. I'm not gonna fuck this one.
That's
up.
like heinous crimes. That's like heinous crimes against people, against humanity. That's like the murder ones. That's the that's the real legit, like the SUV guys.
What are you talking about?
Law and Order. SVU rather. SVU.
That's funny as fuck. No.
Yeah, like the special victims crimes. Like those guys go down to that deep, deep level.
So you can end up in these are the different levels of hell. And they're all you can end up in limbo. Well, I don't know, these are different levels.
Well, purgatory and stuff. Like limbo is like in between.
Yeah, limbo's in between. This is saved for the unbaptized. This is funny as heck.
Oh, wait. So you don't really get anywhere. They're just like, you're going to hell, huh? And you just stop halfway.
You're limbo. You're in between. So you're in between the gate and hell. You're on the line at the club.
Damn.
Forever.
Damn, son.
And it's December. And you don't have enough money to check your coat.
Oh, no.
That's what this one is.
Damn, he said you're on the club line forever.
You're sitting on line at the bar without your jacket.
The bartender never makes eye contact with you.
window.
You're like, hey, damn. Damn.
Yeah.
Like that forever. That's it.
That's another within the first circle. The second circle is lust. I don't know why it's called lust, but souls are blown out about in a violent storm without hope of rest. So you're just being imagine.
Damn. Every time you doze off, they put on the Ozzy Osbourne records.
That could be
it's like,
one version.
And you're like, damn.
My mind first went to that cow in that movie Tornado, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cow just keeps spinning.
The one that goes by the
Yeah, you
camera?
could be that one. That cow just keeps going. You don't know it, but that cow is still spinning.
Man, that's rough. You never get any rest. It's just, you must be just full of anxiety constantly. You can't rest. You can't sleep. It's just always chaos.
Yep. Then followed by gluttony.
Oh, these are the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that. These are also the circles in hell of Dante's Inferno.
Oh, okay. That's what they call the 7 deadly sins also. The movie 7, you ever see that?
No.
It's good. We'll get to that later.
I didn't know that.
But
I'm
this
glad
is
you said that
interesting.
because somebody's at home is saying, like, he's mentioning the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah. It's gluttony. There's like, I think there's like vanity, I think, or something like that.
Violence, fraud, treachery, so on and so forth. I'll just go over what happens in each one, or at least what happens in the next one. The gluttons are forced to lie in vile, freezing slush. Damn.
So they just stick you in in New York City in the middle of winter. It's just slush and freezing.
They put you outside of a Bronx project building like the day before the trash comes, and it snowed.
Yeah, it's still snowing, whipping that freezing. Oh, there's slush everywhere, and you got brand new kicks on. You got brand new sneakers on, and there's slush everywhere, and there's muddy city slush all over the place, and you got your new white J's on.
You bought them sneakers on that whatever that app is that lets you pay in payments. You haven't even finished paying them off, and they're already beat up. You told your girl you were gonna resell them.
Yeah, bro. Damn. Every time you just about to like go get a sandwich, instead you decide to buy these kicks. And then you just never get to eat, and you never get a fresh pair because they're always messed up in the snow and the slush and shit.
One thing for sure is that if they're looking for different ways to torture people in all these levels of hell, I'm pretty sure they could contract us and we could think of some creative ways to kind of torture people. And these are very mild.
Yeah, I'll be like, just play this one sound really loudly, randomly, and I'll be like, yo, $50, I'll get you some earplugs. I just be doing that, and then next thing you know, I'm in there.
Well, the book is this dude walking through all these different circles.
Yeah.
And he's just getting to the core of hell.
Really? Is there a movie?
There's a game.
Really?
There's a video game.
How old?
Well, it's not recent.
Oh, okay. All right, so. Because I was going to say, damn, I was like, today, I was like, please, with like VR and stuff. That would be insane.
No, they would be sick. But
oh my God. Imagine.
2010. They have games like Diablo that are still being put out. That's essentially just like a
Like similar idea.
Yeah, similar concept. Diablo's an amazing game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, if you're into like MMOs or RPGs, Diablo's crazy. Diablo's like World of Warcraft, similar, like in the sense that you could play with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
In like a world. Yeah.
See, I never really, there were certain games that I kind of still want to play a little bit.
Yeah, well, it wasn't
I
free
should go
world
back.
like you play on your own and you could invite people. It's co-op. That's what it was. It was co-op. It wasn't MMO. Excuse me. It was co-op.
What's the difference?
Co-op is when you're playing your storyline and other people could come join you and play with you. You guys play cooperatively.
Oh.
MMO is like a massive multiplayer online game, which means that like you don't get to decide whether I'm with you or not. Like I'm here. I'm in the world. It's an open world and I'm here if you're here. If we play on the same server, like I could follow you around.
Oh, so it's like, but you'd be playing like your own separate game. Like
yeah, I'd be playing my own
it's-
separate game.
So let's say I'm playing and I have like my own character and my own game that I made or whatever. It's real time what I'm doing, and our stories just happen to intertwine.
Yeah,
Like-
and you could work together on things, or if we're on opposing factions, we could kill each other.
Damn, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I used to play a game called RuneScape. This is gonna not only date me, but it's also gonna let people know I didn't have a lot of sex when I was younger. No, I'm kidding. I played this game when I was young. I peaked. I peaked late. Anyways, so I played RuneScape when I was a kid, and you would like work hard to get all this gear, and then there was an area that was called the wilderness.
Okay.
And when you went in there, it was like anything goes. Like they can't attack you in town, but if I catch you in the wilderness, it's on sight. And then when you die, you lose all your shit.
Like all the shit that you've built up over the course of playing
all
this
your
game
gear,
ever.
anything you have in your pocket except for like 3 items.
What?
Yeah, bro. You can lose all your money, all your lobsters. Oh, but mostly like you lose like your weapons. And it was hard to get things. Like it would take maybe 20 hours to get like just like a helmet, 20, 30 hours of like work.
But could you cheat and just buy it?
Nah,
This was before that was a thing?
There was no, you still can't.
See-
Well, I mean, I guess you could buy an account off of somebody and then like trade the stuff. But no, there was no pay to win. That's what they call that.
Damn. See, I wonder because I know that there's like certain things that you can buy, right? But then that would just be whack. Then it would be the video game world would be like real life.
People
and
don't-
the really wealthy would just win all the time.
Yeah, people don't like pay to win games. You could like pay to win in like some cell phone games. A lot of cell phone games actually.
Yeah. You could
You
pay
can pay
like
to speed time
Yeah.
up and shit.
yeah. Damn.
But I don't know if that's worth it. I'm down to pay money to get like in character skins and shit.
Okay, like modifications.
Yeah, I don't want to pay to win.
Can
But
you pay to get like an upgrade in weaponry or just how the weapon looks?
Nah, how the weapon looks. It still
So
functions the same way.
So you can't get like just a rocket launcher or something like that. You just buy that when nobody else has access.
Nah.
All right,
That's
good.
pay to win.
That's whack.
I don't play anything like that.
That's corny. I don't like that.
I don't play anything like that. But I'm totally down to put money on like the way my character looks. So when I
Yeah.
pull up on you, I'm looking wild. You're like,
Oh,
You know?
You know what? Talking about playing games and spending money to win and stuff. You know what that reminds me of?
let's hear it. Transition.
You know that in New York, it's now legal to do like phone app sports betting. Like FanDuel is here and shit.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Like it's a matter of days. Like it just happened.
Oh, it's gonna be.
No, it's here. It's already here.
Is it a matter of days or is it here?
No, I mean it's been available for just days. I think it started like this past
Oh.
week.
I did not know
Something like that. Yeah, man.
So can you just openly gamble now? And
Yeah.
through apps like you could like because the fan duos
It's
and
sports betting.
the sport, but some of them are weird.
Yeah, you can't like bet on like outcomes. You can bet on like weird things, like like you
Whether
like,
the guy clips his toenails or not before he hits the fucking octagon.
Yeah, there was like weird stuff, but no, I think this is like straight up sports betting. I'm gonna see if anybody in the chat, if Twiz or if you guys are familiar with what I'm talking about. It's I think it's open sports betting.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
Yo, once New York legalized recreational cannabis, they were like, "Fuck it, let's let them play dice too." Let's let them do this. Let's let them do that.
Yeah, see FanDuel and stuff. Online sports betting is officially legal in New York. Here's what to know.
Damn.
All right. Anybody out there, if you're interested, this is now something that you can do. As of 9 a.m., and this was on January 8th. So this was yesterday or the day before.
Day before yesterday.
Day before. So what's that? Saturday. So as of 9 a.m., the mobile betting apps had all been given the all clear to launch in New York.
Everybody turn your VPNs off.
Yeah, right. Which joined neighboring states like New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania in allowing mobile sports wagering. New York state lawmakers and then Governor Andrew Cuomo cleared the way for mobile wagering last April when it was included in part of the state budget. It's expected to be a moneymaker for the state, with New York charging a far higher tax rate than other large states. So there you go. It's going to be, that was reported by the Gothamist.
That's cool.
So that's it's super interesting. I'm sure they're gonna crush it with the taxes, as they were saying. Like they're gonna get their fair cut.
100%. Are you kidding me?
They're gonna definitely be able to wet their beak a little bit on this sports betting, but
I'd rather play the fucking lotto.
I'm not
much of a lotto guy. Damn, somebody won?
You'd rather play the lotto than sports betting? You get to choose things based on like things you actually know.
Well, listen.
You have a way better chance of winning.
I could lose a lot more money fucking betting on sports. But this is the way I look at it, right? I don't play the lottery or sport bet. So if there's a finite amount of luck that a human has, I want to put all my eggs in that lottery basket.
You're tripping. You mean to tell me you can't pick an MMA fight? You don't have a better chance of winning a bet in an MMA fight as you do winning random numbers that are picked randomly? With much more people playing?
If my joke about finite luck is correct, then no. I'd rather win one time with this than win a bunch of times with MMA. But no, yes, you are correct.
Sports betting isn't luck as much as it is like there's a reason why some guys just win all the time because there's ways to you just got to know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm trying to parlay a couple of fight cards. I told my girl, I said, listen, I'm gonna be putting a little bit of money down on a couple of events,
If they let you just do it like normally, if I could just pick the outcome, pick the winner, then I would like to do that.
I believe so.
But I don't want to do that DraftKings bullshit where it's like, here's 1,000 points, spread it out, and you got to fucking pick every fight.
No, I mean I'm pretty sure that
because that's how that's how those websites work. Those
like point systems and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
They're like loopholes through like the fucking like they're like little loopholes in gambling. They're like, well, this isn't really gambling. They're not betting on the outcome. They're betting on events.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what kind of bets you can make.
Caesars is the newest. Yo, we need that Caesars or DraftKings or FanDuel, whatever. We need that sponsor, yo. We'll talk about you guys all day.
Yeah, I'm curious to see
if you can place individual bets.
Yeah, because I'm unfamiliar with how it works.
Honestly, the truth is I don't know. I know that DraftKings, when I tried to do it back in the day, that it was like a point system, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I just want to bet on who's gonna win. I was like, I got to talk to a guy now. I got to talk to a criminal.
Ha. Here we go.
Let's hear it.
Can you bet on single games on FanDuel?
Okay.
Of course. If you have any specific questions about FanDuel Sportsbook, our customer support team is here to help. A straight bet is an individual wager based on the outcome of a single event. Straight bets include spreads, money lines, and totals, also called over-unders.
Okay.
Yeah, see that? So look at that, man. So you can
download this.
You can really, I'm pissed. I tried to download it last night and I don't know my goddamn Apple ID password. I kept on trying to do it and it was like, man, and I was like, yo, do it with my face. And every time I try to do it, it's like, it kept giving me a problem. I was getting pissed. My girl's like, relax. I'm like, you're lucky. I had a couple in me, you know what I'm saying? So she was like, I'm kind of glad. She looked at me. I could read it on her. And she was like a little glad that I couldn't get in. She was like, this guy's going to sit here and just toss some money around on this.
Yo, no more lotto. Oh, I'm away from my lottery idea. I'm back. I'm in the FanDuel now.
Yeah,
catch you on
FanDuel.
Catch me on DraftKings. What the fuck was I going to say? I was just going to say something. And now it's out of my mind.
FanDuel betting?
No. It wasn't about betting. It wasn't about any of that. I was going to transition to something else, but it's perfectly fine. There's no need to worry. Oh, I was mentioning the lottery because the lottery was like at fucking 500,000+, right? I guess somebody won because I just looked it up.
500,000?
A million, excuse me.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. It's You could win the lotto, but most people that are playing the lotto wouldn't know what to do with that money if they got it.
I'm not most people.
They burn through it. You ain't playing the lotto. You're talking about if I played the lotto. You don't play the lotto.
I never play the lotto.
No,
I think
exactly.
Only
That's my
time I've
point.
ever played the lotto when I was a kid, my dad used to send me to the store to play for him. But I'm not a lotto player. But I'm saying that if I did win it,
Yeah.
I'd be all right.
Yeah, of course. But you don't play it because you know better.
Because it's dumb.
It's just not. It's not something
It's
that.
cool for somebody that does it as like a hobby. You know, they just do it. Throw a couple bucks into it.
It's unfortunate, but most people that play it because they're looking at it as a way of salvation. They're looking for it as a way to save them.
Yeah. Some people win though.
Yeah, some people win, but
And you don't got to win the big one. You could win just a couple bucks.
you understand. You know the curse of the lottery, right?
No, I don't. Oh yeah. I know the curse. I've seen I've seen like a documentary or something
Yeah.
like that about everybody who wins the lottery ends up going broke.
Yeah, they go broke or they die terribly. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just something that it just speaks to the lottery, I think, just takes advantage of people. I think it just takes advantage of people. It dangles a carrot when it knows that nobody's going to win this. Nobody's going to win
It takes
this.
mad long for somebody to win.
It takes mad long, and they're like, it's up to 500 million. So how much did you make? If it's up to 500 million, you made 3 billion. You know what I mean?
I always wonder how the money works with the lottery. Like, is that how many people lost?
Yeah, they
Like
say
that
that it goes the profit made from Lotto goes to the school district. That's what they say.
What school district?
It goes to the school district of whatever, you know, like to I think like education. Somehow it goes to education in wherever, you know, whatever state it's in. Goes into like the educational system. I'm pretty sure that that's the thing. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
Two things for certain. There was a lot of people playing fucking lotto in my neighborhood.
Yeah, me too. And we had the shittiest shit ever.
And my school was not reflective of that.
Same, bro.
What up, George?
Same, man. Yeah, but it's just something that I just think is dirty. The way they run the lotto and the way that they take advantage of people.
Dude, some people play
You know?
$50, $60 worth of lotto a day.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Oh,
They'd
yeah,
be
bro.
over there spitting numbers at. Do you ever got stuck behind somebody throwing numbers at that dude at 7-Eleven? You're sitting there
Bro.
trying to just get your fucking water and leave.
Nothing makes me more angry.
And
I'm like,
someone's
yo,
like-
you cannot do this. You have to have a separate line, bro. You just bet the rent at the bodega, papi.
Nah,
like
it's
what?
one
Like you're,
dude back there. He's 45, 56, 55 straight box.
yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
And then he just starts rattling off birthdays.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
what happens if you fuck that up too? Like, what happens if they give you a ticket and they get the number wrong? Because I'm not giving that fucking ticket up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because
You're
that
gonna
one
have-
might be the one.
Yeah, so you're going to get another one. And that becomes the addiction. And this is how it becomes. You spend, you know, $20, $50, $100 at the counter because now you can't stop playing certain numbers. Because then all you can think about is if that shit comes out,
Yo,
I
but-
didn't play it. So then you start playing, you get obsessed with numbers and you just start playing every set of numbers. You see a license plate and you're like, damn, that's the one. You know?
Or your number hits the week you don't play.
Yeah, one
It's like,
dollar
oh.
straight, dollar box. Yeah. So, I don't know.
What about scratch offs? How do you feel about those?
Scratch offs are okay. I think scratch offs are pretty okay for a gift, but I don't give scratch offs no more.
I don't give scratch
Because
offs.
I'm like, yo, what if you win? I'll be pissed. I'll be so hot.
Yeah.
Because really, I can't expect you to give me anything. But then I just think in my head, it's similar to that. Damn, if I don't play this one, it might come out.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, I can't get. Should I give him this one? I don't know. Might come out.
You got to put a little like a little fine print at the bottom of like the birthday card or whatever,
Yeah.
and put like any winnings over $5,000 must be split with like a giver.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want half of your $100 that you win.
Yeah. I'll give you some scratch offs with a contract.
Yeah, dude. If you hit the 2,500 for life,
Oh,
people win.
it's 25,000 for life.
No, 2,500 a week for life.
Oh my God.
That's not bad, dude.
Bro, that's not bad. Are you kidding me, bro? All I would do is just invest. I'd be a goddamn day trader.
Well, I'm saying like you can't, you know, you and your girl can't quit your jobs, but you could definitely take it easy. You can switch to part-time.
Bro, $2,500 a week for life is good money. If you limit your expenses, you're fine.
No. It's great money.
You limit your expenses,
It's
you're
not
fine.
bad.
Bro, that's $10,000 a month.
Oh, I know. It's a lot of money. It's $2,500 a week. It's fucking 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, that's 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
Bro, if you can't make 10 grand a month work, Bro, that right there, that's all you need to do. Now you can really figure out what you really want to do.
All I'm saying is that
Podcast would be lit.
yeah, we would do one every day.
Podcast would be lit.
Those are the ones I like to play. The $2 life, $2,500 for life, because there's people that want it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that have won.
I know some. We used to work with somebody that won it.
Get out of here. That's right.
I don't think we worked with them, but he worked there.
I think they used to work. Yeah, I think you're right.
But
Yeah,
and when I hear about that, motherfuckers talking about, well, I know somebody that won that. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that's getting taxed too. So it's really not. You ain't quitting your job, like I said.
Yeah, I don't know how much it's getting taxed.
What? You in New York? That's just, you better move to Puerto Rico or something like that. You better
Not
move
even.
to
You
fucking-
played it here.
Is that the way it works?
Oh yeah, that tax is gonna follow you.
What?
No, that can't be.
I don't know.
Nah, yeah.
Don't
Nope.
ever listen to anything we say.
I actually don't know what I'm talking about right there. So
Yeah, I don't know. But
I actually don't know.
one thing for sure, though, is they're definitely going to take, Uncle Sam's definitely taking a pinch of that. And you're not getting that whole 10 grand a month or whatever you calculated it out to.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But, either way, I mean, if you do limit your expenses, 10 grand a month, like even, well, they're going to tax the hell out of you. You're going to come home with like 6.
Yeah, 6. If you're lucky, you come
Yeah.
home with 6. Are you kidding me? You could be single. You don't have to have another human in your house to live in New York.
Yeah.
Because in New York, if you're single, it's hard to live alone because
Yeah.
it's so expensive. But if you hit
Maybe
that
get a small dog.
yeah, but if you hit that $2,500 for life, you could afford to be single.
Yeah, man. Just get to figure out what you want to do. Mad people be like, I would paint. I'd be a painter.
I don't know what I would do. We were talking about this at work the other day because the Powerball or the Mega, whatever fucking lottery it is, was like I said, over 500 million. And I asked somebody, I was like, what would you do with the money? And they were like, give it to family and, buy my mama a house and shit like that. I was genuinely hoping that they were like, I would ball out of control. I would get a Ferrari. I would do this. I would do that. All those other things.
That's what most people would do that play the lotto.
Buy a Ferrari?
They would
Crash into a tree?
Because if you're playing the lotto, you clearly believe in
Risk
liabilities. You just believe in like purchasing liabilities. I'm talking about the addicted people that play every day and shit like that and play like $50. I'm not talking about if you get a
Now, we're not talking
scratch
about
off.
the casuals. We're talking about
Yeah.
the dudes at $50 a day.
I'm talking about, your Tio Piting, your Tio Pito, the guy that's hitting that, that's hitting that shit every day, being like, yo, even when he's sick, he's sending you up to play his numbers. That guy, that's that money's dangerous for somebody that really needs it. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, man.
Says invest into an account with a high residual rate, high residual interest, so you can live off the interest rate.
Absolutely.
You can definitely live off of it. All I'm saying is that, some people aren't going to just quit their job and live off this, let's just say, $60K a year, which is still a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. That's not chump change.
You just take it, like you said, man. Take that and just move somewhere with a low expense,
Yeah.
low cost of living. I move out of the country.
Yeah, like Haiti.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll let you do it. New York State. If it's like, is it New York? It's New York State Lotto, right? So what if they're
I
like,
don't know. Is that what? That
What if they're
500
like-
million is only New York State? Nah. Is that the way it works?
No, I think you're talking about Powerball. That's different. I'm talking about the Win for Life.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I don't even know what I'm talking about with that either. So
You're still debating how they're going to tax you, bro.
Yeah,
They're going
I'm
to get some
thinking.
money from you.
I'm
100%. And you can't just leave. Like, you got to leave forever, probably. Like, listen, you can go, but then you can't come back, all right? And if you
Yeah.
do come back, we want our money.
jeez. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of catch to it.
Listen, taxes is about who you know, because a lot of these rich motherfuckers ain't paying no taxes.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you probably should. George says you should keep a New York address and still move.
There's a lot of people that leave for tax purposes. Why do you think Logan Paul lives in Puerto Rico? Why do you think he got that Puerto Rico house?
Yeah, there's people that do it with pensions too, like good New York State pensions, and then they'll move to a state that has no income tax or something like that. So then it's like, you move to Florida, or you move to, to Texas, something like that. Then you get to keep more of that money.
I know we talked about this maybe like 5 or 6 episodes ago, but taxes are fucking the weirdest thing ever. You want to talk about just getting like the raw dog and like not being able to do anything about it? They hit you when you get the money, and then they hit you when you spend the money. It
Yeah.
doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta give you money to get my money, and then I gotta give you money to give you money. What the fuck is that? How does that? And then at the end of the year, you do all the math, and then sometimes you found out you didn't take enough money from me.
I know.
You want more money,
and you want more money. Exactly.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I know, bro. I know it's a crazy concept, man. It really is. I can't stand taxes. I don't even want to.
I believe, like, you know,
they're needed though. You need it for infrastructure, roads.
I'm not saying we shouldn't pay any taxes.
Yeah. I'm
just saying that we got to figure something out.
Yeah.
We got to restructure this.
Something. We got to do something.
I need some explanations.
Yeah. I want some receipts, bro.
Yeah.
You should send me a receipt. You know how my bank always sends me a statement that I put in the shredder anyway because I'm like my dad and I can't just say, electronically. Nope. Send me a statement. I want to see it. I want to feel it in my hand.
Send me a statement. Send me a picture of the street that's mine because I know I earned myself at least a patch in some street with all the property taxes I paid or town taxes, whatever.
Yeah.
I know I own a little bit of asphalt somewhere.
Yeah. See, that's what's crazy is the property tax concept. That's the biggest scam. You know, someone very close to me owns a home. And
physically? Somebody physically close to you?
Yes. No, not physically. No. No, close in my life. Somebody close in my life owns a home. And when they purchased the home, they were paying X amount of dollars, like mortgage, along with property tax, like their housing payment total. And now, fast forward, like 7 years, they've been paying toward the mortgage. Their payment is like $500 more than when they initially purchased the home because of property tax.
My mortgage just went up $100.
And it's like what the hell kind of scam is that?
Dude, it's
like, do you like the property tax? You're charging a property tax that allows me to never actually get ahead on my mortgage until I pay the whole thing off, and then there's no more bank balance, and I'm only paying property tax.
You think property tax is crazy? You ever heard of mortgage insurance?
Yeah, but mortgage insurance isn't. It's avoidable. Mortgage insurance, like if you wait longer and put down a bigger down payment or something like that. And it doesn't continue to grow either. And it'll go away after you pay a certain amount.
Well, that's the crazy part is that most people that get mortgage insurance are the people who could kind of barely afford their mortgage in general. And then on top of that, they're going to throw them like another $350 payment on top of their mortgage. So real quick for context for anybody who doesn't understand what mortgage insurance is. Let's say you get like FHA, first time homeowners or whatever, FHO, whatever the fuck the acronym is. You take advantage of the first-time homeowners program, and you put down 3.5%. One of the stipulations with a program like that is that you pay mortgage insurance. And mortgage insurance is an additional fee that you incur that goes onto your mortgage that doesn't go towards your equity or your
principal.
Or your principal, excuse me. It doesn't go towards your principal. It's just money that you pay, I guess, just in case. There's scams in every angle. We live in a big dealership.
They're pretty much saying like, all right, so being that you can't come up with X amount of dollars for a down payment, we don't really trust that you're going to pay all this money.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure.
You pay more money now.
Yeah, so you got to pay more money to ensure this if you decide to stop paying or you're unable to make payments.
It's like, motherfucker, I could barely make that one. Now you want to put more on there?
Yeah.
Mind-boggling.
But people do it, and at this point, like, with a family and stuff like that, a lot of times you want to have a home. So people want to get their hands on a home, and again, they dangle that carrot and stuff like that. And sometimes it gets you into buying something when you probably should have waited a year. Like right now, I don't want to get a house right now, but I'm like, I know right now is not a good time. Yeah. It's not a good time. So we're waiting, because if we get into a mortgage right now with crazy high rates, and the rates are low, but the crazy high pricing right now, the housing market's absurd right now in New York. So I have to wait. I got to wait,
Hey, listen, I think it's like one of those things where you never know what the right time is, because I even look at it like, is this bubble gonna pop?
I don't think it's a bubble. It's not a bubble. I think it's the new housing market. I think that there's been new people have entered it. It's not like certain people that were in the housing market, all of a sudden started making more money, or there's this temporary increase or this temporary correction or whatever. These people are just brand new homeowners with a lot of money that are now, or people that are looking for homes. Like you have people displaced from major cities that used to not have any interest in being in the housing market over here, like in just outside of New York City, areas like that. Now they're like, you know what? I don't have to work here anymore. I can work from home. So it's kind of looking nice over there.
Well, it's not just like people that live outside in the outskirts of New York City or people that live on like suburban areas outside of cities. It's happening everywhere, which is extremely interesting. And it's also it's not like people are making so much more money because of the pandemic that they can now afford to pay these like through the roof prices for property. So that's the most interesting. From my perspective, that's the most interesting part, that nobody's making, more money. More people work from home, so they're able to, live further from work or, move out of state, so on and so forth. But there's not like this vast number of people who are, like now as a result of the pandemic, like way more financially successful. That creates like this spike in price. I think it's
that's kind of what I mean. Is it's like people that weren't interested in buying homes before now are, and
Maybe.
These are the people with a ton of money that used to live in the city. They used to live in brownstones. They used to live in nice apartments, luxury apartments. Now they're like, you know what, a house is looking pretty good. So this is why I feel like this is just the new way of the housing market. Is just there's a new buyer in town and they have a lot of money.
Possibly. I don't think that those people make up like that large of a percentage, and if they did, those people who live in those beautiful like Manhattan lofts, it wouldn't affect like every single like area, right? Because they're not going to move into a subpar neighborhood. It's just, I definitely think that could be one of the things, but I think it's like a culmination of a few things, like new buyers, people wanting to not live on top of each other anymore. So they're, they don't want to live in an apartment building because they're so saturated that the rate of infection over there is probably through the roof in comparison to somebody who lives in a suburb. So I think that definitely could be a factor, along with like, some other things. But I would be really interested to find out, not to say what you're saying is incorrect, but what like the biggest one, like what's the biggest driving factor that's driving these prices up? People wanting to just leave the city, or people wanting to, people with new people in the market. Like, what is it? People who don't have a choice and want to leave because they think it's the safest thing to do.
Well, it's literally what I'm saying. Like, this is fact. This is like proven in like statistics and stuff. These are people that are,
the housing market is its biggest. Its increase is due to
wealthy
buyers.
people. Yeah, wealthy people that are now they're buying. I mean, I was literally house shopping. I was house shopping in this market. I was trying to buy a house. I was looking around. I was going to open houses and stuff like that. And I would go to an open house. I went to an open house that was $299. It was $299, so really $300. That's what it was like listed for. Like, so you go, you look at it. It was like, I mean, it needed some work, like a considerable amount of work. But we loved the location and stuff, and we were like, man, this house is nice. There were a lot of people there. The house ends up selling for $425,000 sight unseen cash.
Yeah.
They didn't look at the house. They bought the house for $125,000 over asking price cash without looking at it.
You know what that means? That means that person had that much money in like liquid funds, because the bank won't let you take a loan out for more than what the house is appraised for.
Yeah, no, I know.
When you drop 125 cool ones over the asking price or over the market value, that means that you had that money cash. That's a lot of liquid cash.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
It could be somebody that just got out of a house and had a lot of equity in it. But either way,
it's
a lot of money, and that's happening a lot. A lot of people are overpaying.
Yeah, I mean, is it overpaying though? That's the question. What determines value? The market determines value. So it's like, at this point, are they overpaying, or I just can't afford the rate?
So it's overpaying at the time, because the way they're going to calculate your house's worth is based on previous sales in your neighborhood for comparable homes, right? So I have a mother-daughter, like that's like the style of my house. So when they appraise my house, they look at like like a 5-mile radius or like a radius in general, and they look for houses that are just like my house and what they sold for. So at that time it might have been. Now that houses are selling for way more, the value might be it might have evened out. But if you're talking about really early, at that time, like people are paying so much more over because it hasn't evened out yet because there wasn't that many houses sold or whatever it is. But I know that's how they value homes because I was thinking about selling too, and
yeah, there's a ton. I mean, at first I was like, yeah, I was wondering. I actually meant to ask you that. I was like, I wonder if he's thinking about selling because the market's so high. But really, it's like at that point, what do? You sell, and then you go to a house that's more money. So then it's almost like the same thing because given that the reason you'd be able to sell your house for X amount more than, let's say, somebody buys it for, that means now you got to go purchase a home for X amount more than somebody bought it for.
So because I bought at like a good time, if I was to sell and I would buy a house and put like, let's just say I just put all the equity down. Like let's say it's a $200 house and I have $100, right? I don't even want to do any math. But what I would do is I would inevitably just end up putting so much down on a house that I would be back to like what I paid, a little bit more than what I paid for this house originally. So I would have a little bit of a higher mortgage, but I would be in a significantly better house. Like,
I got you.
Because I have so much.
I got you. Because you put so much down.
Yeah.
Because you put so much down on. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And I would be at like a little bit of a higher mortgage, but I wouldn't but I'd be in a different house.
Let's say in whichever way that you wanted to, I wanted a porch on this side or something like that. Like whatever it is, whatever box it checks, all right. Yeah.
It's like, you ask yourself like, this is what's going to happen. The prices are high. The interest rates are low. The interest rates are high. The prices are low. Like it's never like this ideal time, but you want to be, interest rate could change. Your price is never going to change. So like ideally you'd want to buy when the market's low. Maybe I'd sell and fucking camp out of my mom's house for a couple of years and see what happens with the market.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the best thing you could do is have cash and wait for something to fall.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching a guy on YouTube, Pat Bet David, that I probably mentioned this dude before, but he was talking, he's like, I look forward to when there's like people are saying there's going to be some kind of a crash or some kind of a dip or something. He's like, I look forward to it. He's like, why? Because I have liquid cash. So I'm prepared. He's like, this is when people get wealthy. He's like, people always think people lose their money in these times. He was like, this is the times where if you're ready and you're prepared with some cash and something drops, you can snatch it up. And then when it corrects, that's when you get it all off. It's just... it's having that cash, that's the tricky part.
Another thing is like if you live over here, you own a house, like, switching states, money goes longer, it goes further in other states, depending on what state, right? So you take your New York home and sell it for whatever you sold for, take your equity, and then go live in the middle of America and live in a mansion, So it's like if you can work remotely, and you're one of these people who ended up phased out in the sense that you don't have to go into the building anymore and you could live over there, why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean that's the move. I mean that's really the move, and that's the way a lot of things are going. They're talking about now that there's going to be eventually like metaverse jobs, like where you do something in the metaverse for X amount of hours a day, and that's your job.
Bro, I've been trying to buy a fucking piece of land in the metaverse for like 2 months now.
Really?
Dude, it's like $16,000 for like the cheapest piece. And it doesn't even I had to find that out the hard way by just like looking up articles. But like when you go to buy one, it says like, put an offer in or write it, like, it gives you like this like card to fill out. It doesn't tell you how much it's worth. So to look it up, and they're like the cheapest one's like 16 racks or something like that.
That is so weird. And
to own property in the metaverse.
It's gonna go one way or the other, because the way I'm thinking is like part of me is like old school, like I feel like I'm like the previous like generation was to me. Like now I'm like, I don't know if I believe that, but then I feel like that was our parents with like Facebook or thinking about it like what's
cell
this?
Phone? I can call you when I get home.
Yeah, exactly. And now everybody has a cell phone. Like, so is this really, really? kind of ahead of the curve in terms of buying land now, or is this going to all implode or crumble, and then people are just going to be like, damn, this was like nothing. Like I have the same concerns about NFTs.
Well, you know what? The truth is, it's like it's going to be worth something. It's worth as much people are willing to pay for it, right? And it's the same thing with NFTs. They have no real like tangible value because you can't. They're not tangible. Like they have a value, but it's only based off of like hype. To say there's no what's backing that NFT that makes it that expensive. You know,
Yeah.
it's a digital image. I think that these things are going to be the same way. Just like a World of Warcraft account is worth money, right? It's the same thing. What's the difference? My account, if I go to eBay right now, I can buy a World of Warcraft account that's like, built to the nines. It's worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it, or a League of Legends account, or a Clash of Clans account, whatever you want. Like any of these games, you could buy accounts. You could buy, people spend money on Candy Crush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's the difference, really, when you think about it?
I guess, yeah. I mean, what determines value, right? I mean,
Well, not even that, but what determines value on like intangible objects?
yeah.
And I think the metaverse is going to be very similar in the sense that it's going to be like, if you want, and as a guy who played a lot of video games, like if you got a crib in a video game, like you want to, in video games in general, like you want to stunt. When other people can see you, you want to make sure, some people, they want to have like, this skin or this weapon or that or this or that, and it makes you look prestigious. Like people know that you spent $20 on the skin, or people know that you had to be ranked this high.
And what's a skin?
I'm just saying, like a skin is like a
Like a different color gun
it
or
could
something?
be a different color gun. It could be like a suit that your character wears. It could be anything. It could be a guy that's just dressed in a chicken suit. And you're just like, and everybody knows that chicken suit costume, to wear that in game, it's $1,000 to get that chicken skin.
Oh, so it's like a Louis belt or like a Louis bag in a video game.
Yeah.
It's like just
thing.
a status symbol, just flex a little bit.
That's why people are going to spend the money on the metaverse homes, so they could build an apartment building on there, then rent metaverse apartments to people. And guess what? People are going to spend money on metaverse furniture. And
So what is that? So you invite people over and y'all all in this room, like in the living room in your house or something like that, or somebody just pops into your crib, but it's their cartoon character?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't really wrap my head around this shit. I'm trying.
Currently already exists. There's like VR games where you can, like MMO VRs, where you could play with other people and just hang out with them. And like you're doing the same shit in real life. And I know it sounds crazy, right? But what's the difference between me in VR hanging out with somebody else and whether we're like, raiding a dungeon or something like that, and the difference between that and me playing Call of Duty with somebody else? It's just not in virtual reality. And if it was, it'd be fucking even better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I just I don't know, man.
I think the part that disturbs you right now is the fact that when we're talking about people playing video games, it's like a section of society, right? Like the gamers, the people who already like that. When you introduce something like the metaverse, Facebook is such a broader audience that it essentially contains everybody. So like not everybody can do this, right? Games are fun, but not everybody plays them. Imagine everybody play World of Warcraft.
See, I don't like it getting to a point, because to me, it's not going to be playing. At some point, this is going to be required. Like they're going to require kids to like go to class from home, and instead of buying a tablet, you have to buy a VR headset, and like you have to stay at home and do like quarantine schooling and shit.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like that's my concern, is that this is then going to be a way for them to for people to be able to isolate people, almost having them choose to be isolated. Like
Damn,
and
I want to catch up on the chat because there's a lot of things I haven't read yet.
Correct.
But I think that I'm not totally against VR school. Like,
I don't know, man. It's
I'm like totally. I think it should be optional. Like, obviously, if there's a school, like there's
psychological psychological drawbacks to not being social. Humans are social. We can't sit here and be on.
But this isn't antisocial.
It's not real. So it's not real socializing, man.
It's not traditional socializing.
It's not real socializing.
Of course it is.
You're not seeing a person.
But
you're not connecting with a person.
That's not the there's you don't need to see people to connect them. People have relationships people have long distance relationships over the internet.
Yeah, those work.
They do for some people, right? And people have relationships with people, meet people. I've met thousands of people playing video games. I'm not saying I have long lasting relationships with any of them. I'm just saying that you can develop a relationship, and seeing people isn't the only factor that determines two people's ability to connect.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. But
because most of your interactions are digital anyways.
Yeah, but they're digital with people that I actually know.
Correct.
So it's like I just think that there's a part of connection that's being lost, and I think that there's psychological drawbacks to this. I think it's not normal to not really see a person. Like, we're not evolved that way. So this is why there are serious psychological effects to like solitary confinement and stuff like that, and people being socially isolated. Like, there are serious psychological and mental drawbacks and symptoms that get exhibited by a person that is isolated. And when we continue to isolate people in this way, I mean, there's this, you see what it is, people interact with Instagram. It's not real. And for this reason, there's a real negative outcome for young people that are on Instagram. You can't tell me that social media is healthy. It's really not the healthiest thing. And people are connecting, but it's not healthy. I mean, we're staring at phones all day. It's weird. Well,
that's why we're like adding new technology, right, to help us stare at phones longer, like blue light filters and so on and so forth. But just to touch, before we get too far out of it, just to touch on what you were just saying in a sense of people being alone, I think that the difference is, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, right? I agree with this, with the fact that like if this ends up like becoming the new norm where nobody ever leaves their house, that it's not the healthiest route that we should go, right? I don't think that's necessarily what will happen, because I think that people will realize, just like people with VR right now, they realize like, some people like it, some people hate it. I can't even use it because I get motion sickness. So I'm out of the fucking metaverse. You'll never see me there. And if you do see me there, I'll be wearing one of those fucking wristbands that you wear before you go deep sea fishing or something.
Right? Like yeah, one of them patches, like the scopolamine patch behind your ear, right?
I'm going to be railing Dramamine just to fucking stay afloat in the metaverse. But I think that the differences between like solitary confinement and things like that is just the simple fact that it is somewhat social. And I think that we'll start to find that like, just like there's not just one sense like that propels us through life. Is like, it's not just our sense of smell and vision and hearing and all that stuff. Like, there's all these different senses that we'll see that those fall into like socializing too, because just because we can't see anybody or touch them doesn't mean that we can't like, develop some kind of a friendship or something like that.
Everybody's just gonna be atrophied and shit, like Avatar. Remember when he was just playing in that world all the time? He had like no leg muscle. His body was falling apart.
That guy was a paraplegic. He had no leg muscle because he couldn't move.
No, but he got worse. Throughout the thing, he ended up being atrophied and stuff.
Yes,
his limbs were all skinny because he wasn't walking.
Yeah,
so there was muscle breakdown. There's like, I see like way in the future, if this metaverse thing really takes off, people are just going to be frail, laying like sitting slumped over, and it's just I just don't see it coming out good, man.
From that perspective, yeah, I totally agree with you in the sense that and it's going to depend on like how it comes out, what's it like, and if it really sucks everybody in. I genuinely don't think that the average user on Facebook is going to be able to like really use this or enjoy it. I think this is for like a younger audience.
Well, it's not now. I'm talking about in the future. Like years down the road.
The people who are young now who are capable of grasping it grow up.
And have kids. And their kids grow up like in this, like where there's a virtual reality, dad's at home while mom's giving like digital birth in the metaverse and shit like that. And he's like in another room like, wow, honey, looks so real. And then there's like a doctor from home delivering in the metaverse. Meanwhile, she's got some underpaid like midwife that's like catching a kid, like, but it's not really a midwife. They call them like, they're like servants and shit like that aren't allowed to be in VR world. And they're actually delivering to kids. Like, man, don't copyright my movie right here. Listen, that I'm writing, all right?
It's definitely all possible. I'm a fan of enabling some change, certain things are inevitable. And we can't, listen, like you said, when we were younger, people hated our music. The adults, they hated our music. They hated the way we dressed. and it came, and then it went. Look,
This is different.
this is technology in a sense.
This is
that-
different.
Listen, everybody thought when the Laserdisc player came out that it was going to be
That's different.
the new shit. And you know what happened?
What?
DVDs came out.
Yeah.
And my dad had the nicest Laserdisc player ever. I remember my dad bought Top Gun on Laserdisc. He had like Top Gun, Scarface. He had like all like the cool movies. And he was so excited to bring this Laserdisc player home. And he brought it home. And we must have used this Laserdisc player for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then the DVD drops. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah. It just
You don't have
blows
to
it
flip
up.
this. And it's not like a 45. It's not like a huge LP.
It's not a jukebox.
Yeah, it's just like a small little thing. So we'll see. We have to see who embraces this technology, and it's truly not easy to use. You know, it's not something that right now is very easy. You know, you got that whole headset thing for me is what makes me think like, you know, until they start coming out with like Ray-Ban versions.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
You don't gotta worry.
Yeah,
when they start coming out with the small slim one, then you gotta worry.
like that dude hit his baby hit like his 2-year-old with that shovel hook, like bing when he was playing that boxing game.
He was playing
Whack.
the Oculus.
Yeah, bro.
There's a meme or a TikTok or whatever on social media of a dude playing an Oculus. He's playing a boxing game and he straight left hooks his fucking son. He's got like a toddler in the room and he just.
Lady filming's like, oh my god.
He hit that kid so clean. I wish I could play it now for you guys, but we don't.
Yeah.
We don't have it.
Yeah, we don't, man.
Man, we went off into a tangent when it comes to VR.
Nah, but listen, man, that's engaging conversation. I mean, I feel bad we weren't getting with the chat, but
Yeah, Seek is hilarious.
yeah, Seek is wild.
It said, catch me in the lazy boy with the flashlight attached to the hydraulic press with Quest 2. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm really excited about like VR games in the future and like it becoming better and more accessible for everybody. Not in the sense of like how demanding it is on a computer, but just in the sense of like, you know, functionality, like getting everybody can like, you could walk in real world. Like you could get like that mat that walks and then you could walk in game. I don't care what anybody says. That shit's fucking cool. Playing video games and being like, that's the fullest sense of immersion. Like,
yeah, no, I
nothing
agree.
More, you know, can you imagine playing any of I know you're not a gamer, but think of like, you know, any game you played as a kid and then like times it by like 30 and then like put yourself inside of it.
Yeah, to me, I just think I'm like, people play like, they're gonna play what, like a rock climbing game or some shit. Like, go out and try to rock climb.
No, dude,
You know what I'm saying?
who's the fuck? You're talking about you got friends that play like the fucking trucking simulators and shit like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you're a fucking Jedi, you know, with a fucking lightsaber and you're saving the world. Something like that. You're no way.
I'm out of touch here.
Yeah, bro. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about catching Pokemon and shit. You know? I'm talking about real VR shit. I'm talking about Call of Duty or fucking or like, you know, games like League of Legends, like games that are like have like worlds that you could be immersed in. Not like
how far can you go though?
how far can you go?
I mean, like how, like physically, like, like walking around, like you would have to have like an enormous property or some shit like that.
No. You get like a treadmill like system, like a 360-degree treadmill, like a treadmill that you could walk in any direction on.
Does that exist?
Of course it exists. It's very expensive, but it 100% exists.
Get out of here. All right.
Yeah.
So then you're like walking in like all
You better
different-
stop, bro. 20 years from now, one of them dudes might fuck you up because they're diesel from running on that fucking 360-degree fucking treadmill thing. And he's been fight simulating.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. I heard actually somebody, I forget who the hell it was that I was listening to. I think it was a podcast or something. They were saying like at some point, they'll like watch like the world's best athletes are going to be VR gamers.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, pilots use VRs.
They do.
To train
Flight simulation
on flying. Race car drivers use simulators to practice new tracks or tracks that they're going to, so on and so forth. Like this, and guess how they're doing it? They're either doing it in VR or they're doing it with like like the 3 screens that like go around to 180 degrees, but mostly VR.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I
And I'm not shitting on what you're saying. What you're saying could be true.
No, I know. I'm trying to, I do try to see like the positives in gaming and stuff like that. It's just, it just concerns me about what this is going to get leveraged into. That's all I'm saying.
George says there's a gaming VR. There's a VR Jedi game at Dave & Buster's, and it fucking sucks. Listen, 20 years from now, they're gonna fix that shit, and it's gonna be fire. Dave & Buster's out here, I'll tell you right now, the one out here, they don't got that running mat.
Nah, hell no, it don't. And that running mat, man, I don't know. We'll have to see.
The running mat thing is cool. I'd rather build a race simulator. You know, I've been talking about building a race simulator for so many years now.
Yeah,
it's just so expensive. Done right, it's very expensive. You could build a cheap one, but I think that if I had a race simulator, if I didn't get sick with VR, I would 100% do like VR racing. I think it's like the ultimate form of like sim racing.
Yeah, I used to have a setup like that for
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, and it was trash.
Yeah,
the shit too. I had, it was like I used to hit the it would like slide around, a little pedal shit. It was like trash. Well, like, I had a cheap ass shit one.
The new ones, dude, they have like force feedback. So like when your car hits a bump, like you could feel it, and like it's like hard to turn. It's like, it's stiff and
loose. It's like that haptic feedback shit.
Yeah, but it's like in a wheel. It's force feedback, and there's also like resistance on the pedal. So there's resistance on the brake pedal. There's a different resistance on the gas pedal because the gas pedal, the brake pedal, and the clutch don't all feel the same. So like the ballin' ones, they have all that shit, bro. They even have ones with like built with like a chair with like fan. So like as you're going fast, the fan speed up so you can feel like the wind in your face.
What?
Yeah, dude. Those race simulators are so sick. I wouldn't do one that crazy. I would just want a really nice wheel, a really nice pedal set, and a really nice like shifter.
Damn, that sounds pretty fire to me.
Yeah,
because that's something I would like to do that is too dangerous to do in real life.
Dude,
yeah, I wouldn't, and it's like I can't afford a kind of setup that would give me that performance. Like I can't.
You're not gonna buy a Formula One car.
No,
you're not gonna buy a Formula One car, but you could experience it through something like this, through a simulator.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, listen, in the metaverse, you can't get with Pamela Anderson in real life, but in the metaverse, they'll just, digitize one for you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
There's going to be metaverse stations. There's going to be like, remember back in the day where they used to have like calling stations where you could call like out of the country and shit like that?
Yeah.
There's going to be those stations for like the metaverse. And like you're going to be in like a little phone booth and you're going to have that little fucking thing on.
There's so many people going to be getting knocked out and robbed. Watch. There's going to be so many people. They're going to be like, what's that, honey? Oh, I'm in the metaverse. Meanwhile, they're on 34th Street and shit in the metaverse. And somebody's just going to clean that guy and just run his pockets.
No, you can't do it in the street. But that's like what could happen is that, because when you're wearing the VR headsets, you don't know what's happening, right? Like you're in the crib. That's the scariest part about VR. That's true. That's another thing about it that I hated. Like people are always like, oh, when VR first hit, like everybody was like, oh, you experienced VR? Oh, you watch like, I'm just going to say this because everybody was saying it at the time. And this too. People were like, did you ever watch VR porn? And it's like, yeah, but nothing scarier than wearing that headset with the fucking earmuffs and shit, not knowing who's in the room watching you do the fucking deed in the corner of the room,
Yeah, that's suspense. That's like exhibitionism because you never know who's gonna come in.
Yeah, bro,
that's craziness.
When you're wearing VR, whether you're VR racing or you're a Jedi and Dave & Buster's, you don't know what the fuck is happening outside that headset.
Nah, you don't. And listen, let's call it what it is. People are, there's people that will take advantage of that.
Yo, word Seeker. We might have to just one day put Justin on vacation. We sit you behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Me and Seeker do a gaming cars podcast. Exclusives.
That'd be cool, yo. That'd be cool. We'll have like a different day. Y'all fools can have Wednesday.
Yeah. You don't hear it, but there's a jealous undertone in Justin's voice. And I'll let you know, Justin. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You're my guy. No matter what, I love you. All right. We're bigger than just this podcast. Don't let a joke get between us. We're deeper than this. It's deeper than black and white. What's the time at?
I just wanted to there's one thing that I wanted to end this on a lighter note with that, but I did want to touch on one thing though before we go.
The Bronx
it's
fire.
There's there was a tragedy today in the Bronx, in an apartment building. There was a fire, and there were quite a few casualties. I think the last I saw was up to 19 people dead, 9 children, people's pets, cats, dogs. Apparently there was a space heater that started a fire in a residence in this apartment building. And the fire did, as far as I saw reports from like CNN and stuff and a couple of other news networks saying that the fire was contained to a single apartment, but the smoke was actually what ended up taking so many people's lives and causing so many injuries. Was the smoke. And unfortunately, there were some regulations that sounded like they weren't really up to snuff when it comes to the apartment buildings.
Because there are measures in place that are supposed to stop that from happening. George, of course, you'd be invited too. We got a thirst chair for you right here. But when it comes to fires, there's regulations. Doors are supposed to shut and keep fires contained and keep smoke contained too.
Correct.
But as you and I both know, as people who worked in buildings that have these fire doors, what happens with these things? People put things in front of them. That a whole safety that you get behind these doors and safety mechanisms and rolling cages or whatever the case may be, whatever your safety device is that it becomes like white noise eventually. Like, oh, we never had a fire, so I just park things in front of this door. But it's like you can't park things in front of this door because if there is a fire, that door can't close. And I'm sure I don't know this is for a fact, but it has to be something to do with it.
Yeah, they said at the doors, there were some doors that weren't closing all the way. There were some doors that were like propped open or something like that. There was that, as well as they said the fire alarm. Like residents were saying the fire alarm goes off all the time. Falsely, like false alarms all the time. So like you said, white noise, I mean, that fire alarm becomes something that you hear almost every day or a couple times a week. So it starts to lose that feeling of urgency that you're supposed to get from a fire alarm.
Damn. And it's terrible. Like, I feel for the people, but and I also feel for all the animals in the building too. You got to think about it. Like they really don't have it. They're just stuck in that building.
Yeah, there was a woman that said that she when they were getting out, they were just like dogs and cats, like just like dead from smoke inhalation, like in the hallways, like trying to get out. And I'm like, that shit is terrible. That's awful that people experience this, even, the pets and everything, everyone involved. It's awful, man. It's awful. I'm just hoping that the speculation and the reports about so many of these irregularities with safety protocols and stuff like that doesn't turn out to be true. Because if this is all true, that there were all these problems, that there were just things that could have been done better, that maintenance could have been done, that doors should have worked properly, then that's a tragedy of a whole different kind.
Yeah, this is already a tragedy. Yeah. It'd be even worse to find out that it was something that could have been easily avoidable by either somebody doing their job or somebody following the rules.
And why were they using a space heater? Like, are you trying to, was the heat not working in the building? Was the heat not working in the apartment? Like, it makes you start to wonder, like, okay, so what was the need for a space heater?
That is interesting. Yeah, you're right.
So we'll see. I mean, more details are gonna surface. I'm sure we might have to update and revisit this on Thursday to see if there's any more information or anything that's relevant. But I hate to leave you guys off with that, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, just prayers and condolences out to everybody. That shit is terrible.
Anybody that was affected in the Bronx fire. And that's it.
Yeah, man. So we'll leave you guys with that. We apologize for that sad out,
we had to get to it though.
But we had to.
We had to get to it.
It's something that needs to be said. But anyway, guys, episode 67. Give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. Anything that you guys want to talk about, want us to talk about next time, whatever you feel. Appreciate everybody in the chat.
That's Sam. Mastodon episode 67.
67. We out.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Borbona.